Hello, welcome to my weekly look ahead video. We decided to stay indoors this week. It's a bit cold outside, but obviously all the headlines continue to be about Partygate, added to which the worrying comments about my colleague Nusrat Ghani over the weekend. I've written my piece on Facebook page. I'm going to hold my counsel until after the Gray report is out, probably later this week on that issue. Lots of people have written to me about it. I hope I've written back to just about everybody so far. Thank you for all those comments, or most of them at least. And particular thank you to the very kind person, not a constituent, who sent me some majestic vouchers, no doubt to have a party of my own. But there has been a lot of serious business going on. Just on Thursday alone, I spoke in 4 different debates in the Commons. One around child safeguarding, which is an issue obviously I'm very close to. One on autism and the Mental Health Act. One on vexatious legal cases in the UK courts. And one on the Uyghur tribunals. But of course, very little of that gets reported because it doesn't make for good copy in the press. Now, this week again, we've got some important legislation coming through. We have the leasehold reform ground rent bill, an important piece of legislation which is all about trying to prevent people getting stung by developers for very expensive ground rents when they're only lease holders, and trying to put an end to that racket. We've got the Judicial Review and Courts Bill this week as well, which is about the use of judicial reviews and various new electronic procedures taking place in court. And we've also got an interesting bill from my Sussex colleague Hugh Merriman, the MP for Bexhill and Battle, who's bringing forward a private member bill about double charging to try and avoid the scandal. And I get a lot of complaints about it when people have bought a parking ticket and for some reason it doesn't get registered and they end up with a parking penalty notice despite having paid legitimately. So it's an interesting piece of legislation that Hugh's trying to get through there, which I am supporting. We've also got the Product Security and Telecommunications Infrastructure Bill, which is about security of internet connectable products and the whole electronic communications infrastructure, which is an important technical bill. If anyone wants more information on that, I'd be happy to provide it, but it is quite complex as well. Also this week it's Holocaust Memorial Day, and I'll be signing the memorial book as I always do, and it's no less important all these years on that we should remember the horrors that went on in the Holocaust during the Second World War, but of course all the other genocides that have happened before and since. In Westminster Hall we have some interesting debates as well, one about NHS vaccinations. I believe it shouldn't be compulsory for NHS staff, and I'm pleased to hear suggestions from the government that they might row back on the measures to make it compulsory for all NHS staff in the front line to be vaccinated by the 1st of April, which I think, I don't agree with that measure. I also think it's counterproductive given that we need all those people desperately now, more than ever, on the front line with the dealing with COVID and the catch-up that we need to do. Home Affairs Select Committee this week, another witness session on the spiking inquiry we're doing. Some really interesting evidence we've had on that. If you look on the Home Affairs Select Committee website, you can see the transcripts of some of the people who've come and given their evidence to us. There's an interesting debate on skin conditions and the impact on people's mental health, again in Westminster Hall this week. Other things, I'm speaking on a panel on the diplomatic boycott we've been calling for the Beijing Olympics, which we got from the UK and various other countries. I've got a meeting of the Conservative Environmental Network around the use of critical minerals to help with the electric car revolution and the transition into non-fossil fuel forms of energy. We've got the usual weekly briefing from the vaccinations minister. I've got a meeting with the National Youth Agency on various youth things, and the West Sussex County Council Youth Cabinet have got their annual debate happening by Zoom, which I'm hoping to take part in as well this week. I've also got meetings with the Tourism Minister. I'm being interviewed by BBC China. There's not a week goes by without something happening on China and human rights. I've got various meetings at the end of the week with various Shoreham residents groups and in Worthing, and then briefings with the County Council, with the CCG about the local NHS, and on climate action as well. So lots of small but important things happening this week, and then I'll see you. I'll be around as usual in the constituency on Saturday. So have a good week and try and keep warm.